no. That didn't work at all. We'll just start the video normal. YouTube, how's it going? It's Multiplier here for a studio vlog for a few reasons. First of all, my computer is doing things. It's doing an export, and there's at least 18 or 16 or some number of minutes remaining. So, also they're digging up the street outside, putting high-speed internet in the village of 180 people. No, why are they doing that? But yes, everyone's about over 60. I think I'm the only under 60 here. Probably one of only 5 people who know about the internet. Anyway, so studio vlog starts now. What is happening? Should we start off with the big things and then we'll get into the smaller things? The idea behind this is I'm going to fill you in on all the little bits and the bobs that have been evolving, but maybe more importantly, my philosophy, my thoughts, feelings, emotions, concepts, etc. behind how and why what I'm doing. So big things, big things, big things. In fact, probably the biggest, most exciting thing hasn't arrived yet. It will arrive soon. I am under. It's a secret, but it's unlike some of the other things I've bought recently. The thing that's arriving, it's a thing related to music. It's not a cable. It's not an extension lead. It's an actual musical thing. Big and exciting. I'm excited. Fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. That's one of the multiply catchphrases. It's also the truth. So, what have I... So, in fact, there's quite a lot of bits and bobs. Let's go in the chronological-ish order, or in order of expensiveness to some extent. So, I can't actually see what you're seeing unless I put my face right behind your lens and imagine. So, what you're looking at here is camera. The DSLR, which you may have seen from previous videos, and there's a big old thing on the front of it which looks like a telescope, but it's not a telescope, it's a lens. Super hyped on that guy. It's a Sigma 18 to 35mm f1.8, which for those who are in the know with lenses and things will be like, wowzers trousers. It's basically super fancy lens, super awesomeness. In particular, you get something called f1.8, which means you get crazy shallow depth of field, which means if I'm doing product shots on various things, which I don't know the date you'll see it yet, but you will at some stage. If the project is done, just need to get some ducks in the row before I can show you, etc. But yes, you get the f1.8, which is crazy high, crazy small depth of field, and tons of light going into the camera. And that means you can do cool things like this. Spoiler alert. Anyway, we'll leave that, as I say, to a later date when I can actually show you. Also, more theories, etc. Shall I stand? I'll stand. I'll look at this. But, that's a heard a crack. That's probably fine. Anyway, theory about lenses and cameras. Here's the theory. Lenses keep forever. Camera bodies, every now and then you update. That's the theory, and that's why I didn't feel too bad about spending many monies on a really cool lens. Not to mention it's a big part of my job and what I plan on doing now and in the future. So yes, that's awesome. Hyped on that. Also very big, heavy and manly, which I much enjoy being a manly man. And furthermore, in addition, relating to cameras and things, is this guy in the... That didn't work that smooth. Is this guy in the... It's got a cable in it. With a power cable. We'll leave the power cable plugged in. That's entirely okay. I'll just have to be careful. This is a little thing called a Blackmagic Video Assist. No, Blackmagic. Yes, I got it right. Blackmagic Design Video Assist. It plugs into here via an HDMI cable, and it allows me to do a few things. First of all, I can see, because you may have noticed screens on the back. And that's some sort of mirror array. If I'm this side of the camera, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Also, it means if I'm doing like angles, I can see. That's good. Bigger screen, easier to see what's going on. A few other features, or I suppose also importantly, when you record film to DSLRs in a compressed file format, whereas pretty much most DSLRs, if you send the video out via HDMI, you can record uncompressed, almost like as an analogy, recording to the DSLR direct is like recording to MP3, whereas recording to this uncompressed will be like recording in WAV. That's the analogy. That is the analogy. Also, you don't get a recording time limit on here, whereas you do on there. Although that overheats usually before you hit the limit. Anyway, not important. Cool little thing, cool little thing, cool little thing. And it's one of those things. Kind of bad, you dropped it. Kind of lasts forever. Oh yeah, there's like tripod mounts on it and stuff, so you can stick it anywhere willy-nilly on there, on tripod, anything at all. You can sort of literally anywhere you like. That's cool. Put that there, and oh, it will look much. My stomach, yeah. will look much, much better if I put it on here. Look at that. Look at that, everyone. Look at that. Oh, much nicer. Aesthetics, vibe, inspiration. Seriously though, the little details like me, like me just being super hyped on the way something looks, that makes a big, let's do a little bit of a tilt. That makes a big difference in how the overall space feels. The whole idea of a studio, the way I see it, is it's a creative space that gets me inspired to create things. And so even as kind of silly and trivial as it sounds to have like those sort of like little light and a little screen, sort of not like angled just right in the corner, vibing it out and stuff, that genuinely enhances the ambience of the room, the creative ambience, the crambience, and it's just gets me all inspired, not to mention also looks cool in the videos when you're looking through the webcam, which is a extra bonus and thing. But yes, I get much, much, much enjoyment out of just dialing everything in and getting it just so. I mean, that lens I've just kind of plonked there. Intention. It's inspiration for creating things, which is what I like to do. So yes, that is that what I bought. What else did I buy? Oh, yes. Fun angle. Behind here, I have got loads of these guys, which are called foam core board, white boards, white foam core boards, foam boards, something like that. And what these do is bounce light about, not like a proper reflector, but more like a little bit of a fill light. So I think how I was using it, which you might have seen in the video in the background if you've got super keen eyes, is I think I'll putting it up there, so it kind of bounced and kind of filled in a bit of a light gap there. I wonder if I can show you spin move. Spin, that was a really horribly unsmooth spin. All right, actually again I can't see what you're seeing. So I'm hopefully I'm lit up, maybe slightly too bit close, but that's okay. So look over here. Did that work? I don't know. Do I look more lit up now on this because of the? I have no idea. So that's the theory anyway. You can also do other things with it. Frisbee, they're useful every now and then. So I can do that. That's fun. That's just again one of those things. Only cost a few pounds, but you sort of have it, don't you? And it's not in the way. It's not cluttering up the room. I've sort of hidden it really nicely behind there, so you don't even know it's here. But I know it's here. It's like a little secret. What else? Doing a spin. Oh, bumping into things. Probably the next thing will be the hard drive. What's going on there? I'm getting tangled up in the tripod. Right. So probably the next big area, and this is probably the most serious current thing I'm trying to work out right now, is the hard drive situation, which has been evolving and needs to be figured out. So prior to my next new significant musical bit of gear that will arrive, as I say, I've no idea when, but hopefully soon. The hard drive situation is my current zone of place of things to sort out. Some combinations of words to make that more logical. So let me explain. In fact, what I'm going to do is, again, imagine, hopefully I get the framing right, not that I can see. So, right, I'm going to stand in frame. Like that. So, hard drives, etc. Hard drives, in fact, you know, I'm going to tilt the microphone a little bit. And we're still recording, so it's okay. Battery, we're good for the time being. So hard drive, why? What's going on? What's that doing? There's more Y's than there normally is. What's going on there? Let me explain. So, with all the recent work I've been doing with more video sides of things, also doing multi-camera stuff, which you may have noticed in my YouTube videos, also in the door with the video files, and again, multi-cam. Basically, I'm needing much more working hard drive space than I normally do. So normally, in fact, let me tell you what I normally used to do. So I've got my main laptop, that's got 256 gig SSD built in. And then my other working hard drive is a 256 gig SSD, the Samsung T3, amazing, definitely the one I'd recommend. So they are, or at least they have been, my standard working drives, giving me 512 gigabytes. We'll go for 500 approximately 500 gigabytes of working SSD hard drive space. And then what I would do as my main screensaver, and then as my main backup, I have a 4 terabyte normal spinny hard drive, a Seagate thing. So that's my main backup, but also kind of like a working drive for stuff that isn't that important, or stuff that I don't need very often. So it's kind of doing multiple things. But anyway, it was my main hard drive that sort of lived in the main zone. However, with all these new projects, I've had to increase my hard drive vibe significantly. So this guy, the 3 terabyte Lassie Porsche Superfast, like a race car, 3 terabyte spinny drive, has almost permanently plonked itself down there. I do unplug it whenever I'm not using it because it does make a bit of a noise. Not as much noise as its computer thing for exporting, but it does make a noise, and I don't like noise. Well, I like nice noises, not. So I unplug that most of the time. But it's probably plugged in half the time. So I do need it half the time. So that is pretty much needs to be incorporated into the zone. Had to also buy another power cable extension plug. That's pretty exciting. Oh! Forgotten something really important. I've actually created. So this is very confusing now. This is a 3 terabyte spinning hard drive, massive. But I also wanted more general working space. Oh yeah, for another project. So basically, remember I had, in terms of SSD, kind of permanently attached storage, I had 500 gigabytes. Well, I need more for project forthcoming. So what I had to do is find more SSD. But then I thought, I do actually have a 500 gigabyte SSD. I just had lying in the back of the studio. In like an enclosure that was broken, and I forgot that I had it. So I thought, well, why don't I just buy a new enclosure for like £14 or £7 or some number of pounds from Amazon? So I did, and that is what is on the floor down there, just kind of on the floor, because that's the most safe place for things. Arrow. So that is a 500 gigabyte. So that is a Can you even see? That is a 500 gigabyte SSD in an enclosure that has now become permanently attached via the USB hub. So that is now being incorporated into my standard SSD working drive space. So now I have a gigabyte, 1 gigabyte, no, a terabyte. I said that wrong. A terabyte. 1 terabyte of working, like permanently attached storage on my main hard drive. But then the cable wasn't long enough. So I had to buy a new cable. That's also exciting. So there's a longer cable connecting the hard drive. Cable. Oh, look at the thing I did. This is really, really exciting. Yeah, probably not for anyone else apart from me, but I like this sort of stuff. So, can you see? You can see. So this guy here, this is a USB hub. It has a tendency before this little thing of a tipping over. Just kept going because of all the cables. It kept tipping over. Now I did put some little rubbery things on the thing to stop it sliding off, but then it was still tipping, and I've got no time for tipping. I do tip. I definitely enjoy tipping like taxi drivers, restaurant servers, etc., but not USB hubs. These should not be tipping. Just a different type of tipping. One tipping good, one tipping bad. That's and this tipping bad. So what I did to stop this kind of tipping is I routed the cable via this little squishy dude. So that's pretty exciting. Only downside is when I then unplug everything to move my computer, this cable doesn't have anywhere to go. Usually it went through there. So I think I need to buy some more of those. But I can do that. Cool. And I think I also need an additional one of these guys here because of another hard drive. Also, I kind of need to figure out what I'm going to do because I don't like that sound there. That's not good. That's also the cables. What's going on with all these cables? I don't know about you, but there's a good. I'm stand over here. There's a good and a bad level of cable chaos, and that is not filling me with joy. That is a level of cable chaos. It's not even overwhelming. It's just not nice. It's not a nice cable chaos. And also it doesn't really get in the way, but it sort of interferes with my own personal sort of vibe on this side of the desk. It's not very clean, so I need to figure out what to do with that. Could put it on the floor, but I think because of all the fans and stuff, I don't really. So spinning hard drive, this one, I don't really want to put it on the floor. So I think maybe some just thing to plonk it on, like a standard thing to plonk it on, like a thing, anything at all will do. Now I'm sure I'll find something. I need to find the right vibe for it though. I also want to figure out the cable because that just doesn't look good to me. That looks like, I mean, to give you an example, this cable chaos, I've got no problem with, strangely. And the cable chaos behind the main, there you go. So the cable chaos, wow, like a, oh, I'm other side of the room. This tripod's brilliant. So that kind of cable chaos, again, I've got no problem with at all. And I think my most optimal amount of cable chaos that I enjoy is that cable chaos down there, because that cable chaos is like, it's like a working vibey cable chaos. Whereas, bumping into things again, that cable chaos is just pure ridiculousness. So what I need to do is figure out what to do there. Now, I don't really want to have to, I want to figure out the perfect sort of solution. What I quite like about the studio currently is it's not too perfect, in the sense there's still, it kind of feels like a working space. It's not like everything, like I've been researching cable management solutions, but what I don't like about them is it kind of locks you down to a certain configuration, and unless you get it absolutely perfect, it's still not perfect. So what I'm thinking is embrace a little bit of cable chaos, keep it feeling like a working space that's evolving like it is, but something about that just doesn't fill me with joy. So I need to make it more joyous. So I don't quite know what I'm going to do there. But something. Oh, check this out. Portable power. I thought that was quite exciting, but in hindsight, maybe. No, it is exciting because it means that I can. This is the power cable I use for the GoPro. So I'm not haven't plugged you in right now, so if you run out of battery, whoops. But yes, it means wherever I plonk you in the room, I can just move this about, and the USB cable just goes plonk in there. I literally save minutes every year. That portable power. It's quite exciting when I thought of it. I'm quite excited by it. I think it's an exciting idea, but maybe it's almost like that cable doesn't vibe in with the other cables in ways that I just can't quite articulate or even comprehend. So that needs work. And also, also, so you see where the hard drive used to live? Down there, the lowest rung. Now that is arguably even more ridiculous than the cable situation, where it's like there's a hard drive there, but it's not really there. It's like it's my least favourite, my worst hard drive, like my backup sort of thing, 2 terabyte really old drive. And that is just, it's sort of killing the vibe in that little zone of the room. So what I'm thinking of doing is somehow moving that hard drive into hard drive central, bumping into the hard drive central, which will be down here. But I need to find a way to permanently move it down there in a way that I can easily use, in a way that it's not on the whole time, so it doesn't make noise, but also it doesn't sort of clutter up my brain and the sort of studio vibe. So I need to try and figure out a way to also, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? Just commit to this, because you know what? Committing to ideas, and if I'm going to plug you in, because you are running on battery, portable power, look how easy this is, because the cable's not long enough to go across the room, this USB. So I plug you in and I drop the power cable and bam, bingo, bango, bungo, done. Look how easy, look how easy that was. Very easy, I would say so myself. So, yes, let's commit to the next stage of this. So, hard drive. This is to remind me as well, you can go in hard drive central. I'll just put you sideways for the time being. Don't get too annoyed. There you go. Fine, should have. Very delicate, actually, shouldn't have dropped it like that. That's okay. You can see it's down there. So that will remind me when I look at it and go, it's killing my brain, how ridiculous it is. That will remind me to figure that sort of section of the room out. I want to get this off the desk, I don't like it there. It's clean vibes. Creativity and joy in the world require things to be in their right place and for everything to be sort of in harmony. Music, harmony, see what I did there? Clever, very clever indeed. So what that now means is, so I'm using multiplier, I think on the fly here, that frees up a spot in the display vibe zone. So I'm thinking I'm going to move this little guy, the Arturia, what's it called here? Mini Lab. Oh, it's got a nice, see, it's got are we still recording the mic? Yeah, we're good. Got a nice weight to it, this. fun video to record as well. I think I forgot how nice these keep. It's all dusty. It's fun to dedust things with this. Although it's better for smaller distances. Like, it takes a while to do big zones with this guy. I should get one of those dusting things. I used to have one of those. They're really, or like air blowers. They're really cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by blowing this. So this, I reckon, it's all about aesthetics. It's all about when I walk into the room or when I see it in the video, it just fills me with creative potential and vibe and joy. So I reckon this might go brilliantly down here. If I think, and then I get the lining up just perfect, which have I done it first time? Right. Does that look? Let's take a look, everyone. So does that look good? I think it does. It's different in the sense that there's now white in the bottom left corner that I'm not used to, but I quite liked the keyboard on top of the tractor though. I don't know. I just don't know. I really liked that, the vibe of, I think some of you are right. Hopefully my enthusiasm for dialing in what's amazing like trivialities of a studio, some of you can empathise with. I did quite enjoy having the mini lab on top of the tractor. But in fact, let's see how it looks on the webcam. That's spin. All right. That's fine. OBS. Doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. It's the wrong colour. It's the wrong colour. No, don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like it. Let's just light up Ableton so it looks. I don't like it there. I don't like it there. It looks much better on top of the tractor. It's just. Oh, I can't even just quickly move it back. But also, what that? Where was it? Got to be absolutely. If it's not perfect, it's ridiculous. I like that. It's just that's got. It's got to feel right, you know. It's got to feelings. The distance. Just feel it out, feel it up. There you go. Done. Perfecto. That is what I call perfecto-ness. Perfection, even. Oh, that is much more vibing. That is. Yeah, I think that's okay. Brilliant. So what that means now, though, is I've got to put something in the gap. Question is, though, what do I put there? I've no idea. Something that'll be something to think about. I don't like that angle. That angle's much better. I will have to put something there, but that has to sort of spark me with joy, vibe, and it's also got to look perfect. So yes, that is you just saw multiplier thinking. Bit worrying probably, but lost course. I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. By the time the next studio update vlog comes into being, something will go down there. Don't know what. Could it be the MIDI fighter? Could it be the MIDI fighter? Maybe. Right now, I'm quite liking the MIDI fighters, the buttons in the corner. Another project video. I'm going to be really exciting, actually. I can't wait to show you involving that. Really, really cool. But yes, I do enjoy it there currently. But how long it stays there, I don't know. The sort of here's some more thinking dilemma. So you're thinking. So here's some more thoughts about things, about the vibe. What about you there? Here's some more of the multiplier thinking, just so you can gauge it. What do I do with this zone now? Here's here's the sentence. This zone is basically where I do filming things, whether it's that or that or that. So I really need it to be a space I can manipulate, but at the same time, there are times where it kind of stays permanent for a bit, semi-permanent if you like. So it's trying to balance how clear I keep it with what I leave there. So like say for example for the project coming up, because it's so easily accessible and I wanted to just try something out, I was like, MIDI fighter, walked across the room, picked it up, plugged it in, easy peasy. It was down there, 30, 40 seconds, 10 to 15 more seconds. Got to lean down, don't like that. So also headphones, they're nice there. I'm really enjoying these headphones. Just vibing out like that means I can jam out on the drum route whenever. Also, I can just unplug it and plug it into my main bit for another reference when I'm working on songs and sound design, etc. So I'm really enjoying that there. I think they're much better there, the headphones, than they are down there. Because as I said, I can just pop it out across the room or jam out on the drum route without having to route it into Ableton, which isn't difficult, but it's an extra step. Sometimes it's nice just to hit play or turn it on, then hit play, and then have a play. So I think I suppose the more long-term question is when the next thing that arrives for the studio, where do I leave the drum route there? Probably not. It's quite nice there as it currently is, but I can't really have it permanently here because it means I can't use any of this main space. So it's probably going to go maybe off into the corner or to the side. Somewhere where I can still easily access it, otherwise it'll never get used. So it needs to be easily accessible. So it needs to be easily accessible, but also not in the way. And also, it needs to look good from that side of the... Let's have a look. It needs to look good from this side of the room. So looking at OBS, so I can just have a very quick look at the webcam, what might look cool. We'll spin you around a bit. Pretty much anywhere on the desk, just imagining it moved like a cow. Imagining it moved anywhere on the desk. Yeah, corner, off to the side to the corner. It'll definitely go off to the right-hand side. I just don't know how far back here. We'll see. We'll see. So, we'll see. So that's exciting. The question is, when do I move it? I reckon I'll move it when the new thing arrives. So yes, just thought I'd give you a bit of an update vlog. Since, well, they actually stopped drilling outside, so probably could have done a tutorial. Tangled in. Portable power was causing tangling. Not even looking at me. Much better. So yes, a bit of an update vlog, a little bit jibber jabbery, but that's entirely okay. Just sort of vibes, feelings, emotions about the studio space. This is sort of stuff I love. Getting your creative space dialed it's almost like a whole interest all by itself, which I rather like. Watching people. I spend many a days watching YouTube, seeing how people set up their workspaces, studios, etc. Not just in music, but in all the genres of making things, building, filming, etc. Also, I like it. Satisfies the creative part of my brain. So yes, hopefully you found some of it useful and or entertaining or interesting, or if not, tutorials. Tomorrow onwards, I've got loads in the pipeline. Some really back to tutorials tomorrow, and of course in the door every Monday. Awesome brains. Oh yeah, I suppose one final little point is that tripod living permanently there. Definitely not, but I quite like it as it currently is. It's not in the way, and it sort of sparks. The microphone's pointing in the wrong direction. It just gives me, again, loads of this will probably sound ridiculous to lots of you, but that having there makes the whole place, just makes it feel more creative and like it's a place where things get made. If you know what I mean? So I haven't explored that to it. I can still do a tilt or a pan. But yes, it's just, I like it there. It's satisfying to the eyes. My name has been, I keep getting tangled in portable power. My name has been Multiplier, and this has been Studio Vlog. With title, I haven't worked that out yet. And my name has been Multiplier, and I will catch you guys. Catch you guys on the flippity flip. Yeah. Flippity flip.